Hello, hello. Sorry about the audio last time around. Everything should be fixed now. Hopefully. Electrop has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people want to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. He went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. On second place. I think that's better now. Okay. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there's much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let's head back to the farm we passed earlier. Upai's Halo? It is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to the Halo. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that again. Allow me to introduce you to Mahusa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She is well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen's Fiend, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I'm come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I would invite them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. So the rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of host would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also intends to check out things here. You know me too well, Mahusa? I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions. But I do enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have our permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not a suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point, but be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Woklomat's watchful eye. Pray come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Oh gosh, that's far. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source. You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. With my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. I still want to know what's on their heads. That little machine thing up here. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I guess this is your first time on site then. Well, this here is the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also make it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electro complicate our lives. It's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the power for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? So it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with my life here in Alexandria. But saying that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it. It was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Why can't we jump that fence? I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you had your fill speaking with the farmers. Then let's return to Mahusa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? I'm amazed that everyone loves their work. A curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's sure that the people of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always they take their duties with good cheer. And what did you think of our little tour, Lamati? What do you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles or formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you'd like. It is the most gracious of you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliolo. Regardless of how relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Tulky is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take all care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. I guess I need to get ready to fight. Let's get our paint ready. Stupid car. Oh, you're both alright. Thank goodness. You really need to have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guest. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this we won't have to ask Zoralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen's Fiend. That's enough, Mahusa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later, but to speak of the king now. No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Steen, that I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Still very curious what's on their head, personally. There's so much of Alexandria I would love to show you. Do you hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
I'm glad you could make it. Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Oh.
What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief. Wait! Where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years. Until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's innocuous influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Very interesting, huh? I've always wondered what that thing was on their head. But I didn't really guess it would direct to memory. My initial thoughts were, I don't know, like something would switch and then they turn into soldiers or something like that. But memory, that's something I didn't initially think would be what that, whatever that thing is used for. I've never seen nor heard of anything like this before. As far as I could tell, Popone genuinely had no recollection of Namiko. We'll see how it is with other people. This is very unsettling. What's going on? How could Popone suddenly forget about Namiko? As if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namiko in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetherytes. An old woman named Namiko. I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. I don't recall caring for someone until recently. And you say that it was a woman named Namiko. Well, I can't say for certain it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. What's that? Do I know a Namiko? Never met anyone by that name. And I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she'd spend time here, I would remember. Very interesting situation we're put in now. So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namiko. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, alter memories of so many at once would be tremendous. It would be a tremendous undertaking. We have felt a surge of Aether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none of that in the moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else right before Pepone seemingly forgot. The light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. Who might we ask about this? If we continue making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, if we can't readily solve the mystery about Namiko, perhaps we could search for Koka instead. Being said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Impossible. Another kind of mechanical soldier. It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. I don't think it's a soldier. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you right? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in a direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. That voice, could it be? You found it. I went into the cave. The northeast, that was bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. The stones in those crates, could it be turquoise? Can't even see it. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. An old coal mine. It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. So it went in here. I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. It would appear no one has worked in these tunnels in quite some time. I'm not worried. We've had to improvise countless times before, after all. The tunnel just keeps going. A device made of electro seems to be the only one here. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard.
What is this? Aaronville!
It really is you! Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olivia!
My darling, what now?
I'm assuming that's his mentor.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing? And what have we here? Say, aren't you Glue Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Espierre was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope? I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry? Oh, this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Ellen Espierre are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
Very good point. I don't get it. So she lives on through that computer screen? I'm so confused. I'm sure it'll be explained, but this makes no sense to me currently. The Allegans had machines that could control remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? I can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kafkia is safe. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Aaronville's mother is a floating machine. Right. That makes about as much sense as everything else thus far. Oh, hello. As far as I can tell, that is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Let's hear what she has to say. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this. It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistant organization, Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zoral Jaw's ambition for conquest. As a leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are. Though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is? As I expected, we've already noticed. Everything you see within the dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoral Jaw. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electro technology, and we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? I mean, people walk around carrying spare souls. They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered. The void sent practice of consuming others for their aether comes to mind, and similarly, I expect that act comes with some risk. When the consciousness of others corrupt your own. This is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management. And the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, the memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what they meant by their memories being in a cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, an integral step in soul cell production. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yokhui philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me, personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, the system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a mean to save what lives they could so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulatory was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene didn't strike me as a sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to Thunderyards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop the Ralja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That's the natural order of things. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just a person to show you. And as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. This answers what the regulators do. Take care not to get struck by lightning out there. One fellow reckoned that you could dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash. That's crazy if you ask me. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't have combat training like us. That's why we salvage as many as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. Nostalgia is my twin sister. Like most people, we both used to wear regulators, but well, let's just say a lot happened. I'm sorry, but I can't just accept the idea of using souls as a resource. We're to see how the regulators work, but how? So those regulators are blamed for everyone forgetting Namika. We're forgetting what a wonderful person she was. What does she intend to show us? To alter the memories of the populace with such precision is no small feat. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunder Yard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of the hunters. Or Strika? Not quite sure the pronunciation of that one. What do you think is in this box? I'm guessing food. Well, it is food motivated. Judging by its name, I take this facility is for gathering lightning energy. Strika will show you what life can be like wearing a regulator. Let's get this over with. While I'm not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators, the risks inheriting in giving another party the power to alter your memories cannot be overstated. Never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrope on behalf of the students. Kafka, what are you doing here? And with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption. I was hoping they might observe you at your work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen Sphyn's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning, or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't much to see. Kafka said you were a hunter, but wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they were weak to lightning. The Thunder Yard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructures, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. The perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot to see this danger you speak of. It's not too much trouble to ask. Now, of course, In which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. My fussy little Bun Bun was never any good at fighting, and this body of mine isn't suited to it either. I'll leave this work in your capable hands. I'm afraid I must leave the fighting to you. I love how she calls Erenville fussy little Bun Bun. Very cute. No, I should do this first. Damn it. Really? This one will do nicely. We'll help you. It's fine, really. My face worse. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no. Oh. 12 preserve. He needs healing. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. Just like Sorolja. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator. It appears so, yes. I think I understand how Soralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa. But I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulators turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast. I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. You've crossed paths with one of the king's elite. Such a form can only be achieved by gorging yourself on souls. We can do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allowed hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be granted the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about souls of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you used the soul of a wolf, he would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Striker. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws, too many, and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's forms through the souls of other beings becomes more and more reminiscent of voice scent. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and the reflections are surprising indeed. I've never seen it for myself, but said that if a beast soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. Speen speaks of lived experience, that suggests she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps not so far-fetched. When Emmett Selk spoke of surprising civilizations in other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they have done here in Alexandria. I understand this is part of their culture, but it's no less disconcerting. But we have our thoughts on souls. For now, the important thing is that we know what powers Sorolja has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporeal aether from incorporeal aether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tuliolo's concern. With his newfound power, Zoraija has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. I trust you've gained an insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed with myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all, but for now let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate. There's something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. I understand the argument that we should keep an open mind. If this practice is integral to our culture, well, every fiber of my being rails against it. To think that everyone has lived here for 30 years, long enough to become accustomed to the way of life. What does Namati wish to discuss, I wonder? It is well that we could see firsthand how regulators are used, to draw upon even the souls of fiends. I shudder to imagine how powerful Zoraija could become. I'm sorry for delaying us, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tuliolo and Alexandria. And while Zoraija knows everything about us, we know hardly anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't even seen what lies within the enormous tower Everkeep. So here, I'd like to make a proposal. That is, we work with Kafka and our people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust, but the fact remains that they share a desire to stop Zoraija. Sphene, too, claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you chose to cooperate with the Oblivion instead? It's simple, really. Their leader is Erenville's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk in working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. A fair point. In knowing Zoraija, we must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is that it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we can get would be welcome. Hold on, there's no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. But seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not ourselves, but everyone in Tuliolo. As you say, we have no proof that it really is Kafka. But I have a proposal in full awareness of this. Whether we're going to war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can, otherwise we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zoraija for good and all. What's more, I trust you, Erenville. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? It's trapped and we'll deal with it when it's sprung. There's always the way of it. That's always the way of it with you. Fine, if you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure up ourselves some new allies. I didn't realize summon mount remove sprint. Clicks off sprint. I mean, I guess you don't really need it because it's faster, but still. I'm accustomed to seeing her make decisions like a ruler. Better than her former facilitating self, though. With the resources at their disposal, I'm hoping that Kafka and her people will make great allies. A vow of resolve is possessed with conviction and flexibility both. If the tales are true, she learned much in the course of the Rite of Succession. While I'm all for dealing with Seralja, we need to consider how our actions may affect ordinary Alexandrians. They're not the enemy after all. I agree with Voklamat. It's a gamble regardless of whether or not we choose to work with the people here. And more knowledge is better than less. You understand how regulators work? Now, I trust. It's one of those things that's best seen in action. The wildlife can be very dangerous out there. You need to take care if you don't wear a regulator. Oh, hello again. I'm shy. Kafka, there's something I wish to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Seralja. But I thought he was your brother. You really mean to kill your own kin. My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. His vow will resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I'm prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Seralja. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize this is sudden, that it's a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal. So fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt the resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going at it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you, my fussy little Bonbon. He's all the reason I need. And it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Kafka. Everyone, together we'll achieve great things. I'm sure of it. Let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Seralja's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides on the uppermost level, but while Queen Sveen has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given moment, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know where his whereabouts, Seralja will eventually march on Tuliolol again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is we'd have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility that he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. No, he'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tuliolol. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him. Now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who has bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawntrail, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. That's why he hasn't appeared giving you your chance. Clearly he's aware of our presence here. At that, I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm. But if he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him. We have absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tuliolol again, like he said he would. I see. If you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Tuliolol requires that Zeralja leads his force through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable, if we're proceeding with it, though we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defenses. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Vishtola, and we'll make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. Seems we have a plan. While we wait for Zeralja to move, you did well to prepare for battle. It begins with familiarizing yourself with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh, I thought this place was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint. Oh, about that. Sveen said she'd make it so we could enter without issue. She did. Curious. She's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. If I recall correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Geode, the leader of this hideout, and the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Weakwe. I'm Nostalgia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayake is a Tonawatan name, unless I'm mistaken. That's right. Our mother is Tuliolin, and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I like to think I carry a part of her with me. So what made you decide to join Oblivion? We wanted to avenge our father. Ambrose was his name, and years ago he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope that he'd be released. When months went by with no word from or about him, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost the memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now, everyone who had known him. That bastard. Even now he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion. Hoping to get justice for our father, we joined the Order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together we'll avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. You introduce yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. And while my name is Tonawatan name, I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see it with my own eyes. Our mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone is so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts all. Ah, Aaronville, one last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kafka. She talks about you so much, it's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Meanwhile, in Everkeep.
You've been consulting with Wook Lamont. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require. Is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamont bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Uklamat and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as Argos align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Uklamat, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tully Yolal.
What now?
Right, Kafka is waiting. Let's head to that tower. Oh, need to current quest. Okay, we'll do these. Pardon me, adventurer, but might it trouble you to lend me your aid? I found myself in a rather troublesome predicament. Earlier today, we were sent a soldier and asked to test out its improved combat functionality. I asked the hunter to take it out on patrol, but not long after, I lost contact with them completely. I know the signal is weak out there, but I can't help but worry something might have gone terribly wrong. From the look of you, you can handle your fair share of danger, yes? Could you go out to the Thunder Yards and see if you can find them for me? Ah. Oh, Shallow, what am I going to do with you? I keep telling you to take a hunter with you when you leave town. Well, if it isn't Her Majesty's guest, did you enjoy your tour of Halo? I was told you even helped set the water distribution system to rights. You know, I could really use someone with your talents right about now. The woman in charge of that very farm just left for the wilderness without a bodyguard. Seems to me she's investigating something, but that's no reason to put herself in danger. Last I heard, she was seen walking up the hill to the east of the farm. Could you go and make sure she's alright? Oh, what a relief. You're looking for a young Shatona by the name of Chalosi. Now off you go, and thank you, dear. But don't they not die anyways? Or do they not have souls because they're farmers? Maybe they don't have souls because they're farmers. Maybe. I could see that being a thing. In the same vein, I don't know why they're really afraid of death when they look like this. But I guess we'll see. You saved my life. For a moment there, I thought I had to use my regulator. Now, I somehow doubt an adventurer like you just so happened to be passing through. The researcher sent you to find me, didn't he? I better head back to explain what happened. You may as well come and join me. I'm sure he'll want to know you're safe. There are other places to be first, my friend. Ah, gods be good. That was the last of my soul cells. I could have really died there. Thanks for your help, by the way. So, what brings you out here to the middle of nowhere? Auntie Nakente sent you after me. That makes 2 people who just saved my life then. Would you mind coming with me to see her? I want her to know I'm safe and grateful besides. Never mind. It seems like they do have souls, but they can run out. I guess they don't get much because they're farmers. Anyways. I was right with my statements that they have nothing to worry about in terms of that. Well, I guess I never considered that they could run out of souls. The hunter told me everything. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking such swift action. These soldiers require energy gathered from lightning, and yet lightning also proves to be their weakness. They apparently took a nasty jolt in the thunder yards and went berserk. Honestly, why are they tinkering with the offensive output when they could be correcting this glaring flaw in the design? Rest assured, the engineer in charge will hear all about this in my report. Sorry for the trouble. I hope this small token will suffice as compensation. Look, you gave me Aether Currents. That's good enough for me. It's like the best compensation I could ask for. Aether Currents. Oh, she's getting scolded. Uh-oh. Welcome back, dear. I can't thank you enough for rescuing this poor, reckless fool of a girl. You're not a child anymore, Shallow. Act your age. And what do you have to say to the kind stranger who saved her life? And I've already told you once before, but thank you truly. I'm Shaloasi, and I'm in charge of the Halo. To tell the truth, I'm still learning how everything works. I used to be an electrope engineer, but for some reason the government reassigned me. And I'm Nakente, the farmer's coin keep, or a resident nag, depending on who you might ask. Why me get your name, hero? Tulky rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? That's a name you best not forget, Shallow. You'd be dead were it not for her. Now why in the world would you leave the safety of the outskirts all by yourself? You've been acting so strange of late. It's clear you're hiding something, so what is it? There really is no getting anything past you, is there? Alright, I'll explain, but you have to promise to keep it a secret for now, alright? The truth is, I noticed that the farm's harvests have been shrinking over year, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. The staff are all doing great work, and as a former engineer, I can say for certain that the equipment is all in proper working order. I even checked the pylons, and readout was totally normal. But I know there's a problem. The longer we wait, the worse it will get. In a few years, the crops may stop growing entirely. Something has to be done. Well, it sounds serious, and I appreciate that you're taking the initiative to solve it, but I worry about you, Shallow. I can't have you putting your life in danger. Tulky, would you be willing to help her look into the matter? As an outsider, your idea of normal is sure to be different from ours. I reckon a fresh set of eyes will be able to spot something we cannot. He's right. I could certainly use an unbiased perspective. Would you please help me, Tulky? Right then. With all that settled, I think what you ladies need now is a good meal. Have your seat, and your Auntie Nakente will fix you some veggies. Well, off with the MSQ. Ah, there you are. If Queen Sphene has registered you as guest, then you should be able to march right in. And if she hasn't, then you may have a swarm of Zoralj's minion to deal with. Nothing for it, but to see if Sphene has betrayed us, huh? Thank you for your diligent services, friends. My companions and I would like to pass, if you'd be so kind. Outrunner Guide Unit identified. Registration number verified. 6 accompanying civilians identified. Verifying credentials. Credentials verified. Welcome guests of Queen Sphene. What a relief. There you have it. It seems the Queen was true to her word. Follow me, everyone. Solution 9 awaits. That's a really long time before we actually get to see the, what's it called? The extra area. Because Yulmore was like 84. Ratzahan was really early. I guess Eldershire was pretty late. This is like akin to Eldershire lateness. Svalgor was very early as well.
Everkeep. A tower of electrope piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And did it prove the answer they sought?
smaller districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones, but Solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electro, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed of the light back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zeralja's dominion, do you not?
You had me at Explorer.
I had a feeling you'd be keen.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. The elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Once you've explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector. The way from there is a little complicated, so I'll send someone to guide you.
Understood. We'll see you later. I shall speak with the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in her. You must have been through a lot together.
You might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Eleanor, why didn't you mention this sooner?
You want to explore together? It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home is all.
Oh, I can't believe people hate Voclamod. I really can't. So adorable. Tower's inside a tower. I see it, but I still can't believe it. For now, I say we proceed straight ahead. We feel like we're getting lost, so we can always turn around and go back the way we came. Oh my goodness. This is a big area. And since we're inside a city-state, no mounts. You can only go to places by sprinting. Well, a mini city-state. All the same. A crossroads already. This place is too much. I have no idea where I should go. Right, I've made up my mind. Let's head to that building there. Such a big place.
Ah! There you are! Lamati!
Sphene!
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request you said.
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you ask the impossible. Zeralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this then. Zeralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihyola. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please.
Although, I think she's more worried about her own people, rather than us.
So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well, I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
With Sveen as our guide, we needn't fear getting lost. Let's begin then, shall we? I must say I'm really grateful. This place is so vast and confusing, I didn't even know where to begin. While the district may seem daunting in size and structure, all the key facilities are situated near laystones. Lay notes. What you call Aetherytes. Remember this and you won't lose your way. Now then, seeing as it is right here, I will show you Nexus Arcade first. Please follow me. This complex is home to all manner of shops. From food and daily necessities to technological conveniences, you can find most of everything here. Everkeep's interior is vast, as you've observed. This arcade makes it possible for people to acquire what they need in one centralized location. Amazing. How do you get to the upper levels? I don't see stairs. You see those glowing patterns over yonder? That is an automatic conveyor. Such contraptions are found throughout Everkeep, allowing us to swiftly move between faraway places. That will spare us some walking. They also made from that strange metal. What's it? Yes, the conveyors are powered by electrope. As a matter of fact, the ore is integrated into just about everything in Everkeep, even the floors and walls. By etching arcane circuits upon it, electrope can be used to convert lightning energy to those of other elements. In so doing, we can achieve various effects. For instance, a conversion to wind produces flotation, which is required for the propulsion of our flying vehicles. Conversion of fire, meanwhile, produces light and heat, and is employed in devices such as street lamps and heaters. There are even self-heating cups that will keep your drink warm. Can you make a drink cold if you convert to ice instead? You certainly can. Our vending machines do just that. What's more, multiple energies can also be combined to produce some clever effects. For instance, by manipulating the air with wind while projecting light with lightning, it is possible to alter one's appearance. It's almost scary what you can do with electrope. If such a wondrous material exists in our world, I imagine everyone would be fighting over it. The shop over here, what does it sell? Ah yes, let's go and take a look. I dare say you will find it interesting. Boy. Oh, the amount of crafting right here. We're definitely at the hub. Probably collectibles in here. Yeah, probably. Gemstone trader, merchant mender. Oh, the summoning bell's cool. It's cool. I like that summoning bell. Definitely really cool. Oh, oops. This is the S ranks. Oh. Merchant and Mender. Yeah, this is probably all about the same as normal stuff. Gemstone Trader. Air Wheel Dealer. Oh my. Okay, maybe I'll come back to you when I actually have Gil. I'm kinda script exchanges here. That's where you did collectibles. Figured as much. This shop sells food. Those are items on the counter. That's food? I can't imagine what they taste like. I thought you might be surprised. Your countrymen were two in the beginning. Come, you must sample something. Choose one and I will purchase it. Welcome, friends. How lucky you are for Her Majesty to treat you. The 5 items on display are most popular. I recommend one of them if this is your first time. Select an item that interests you. I don't know. Sure. Keen on the perfect meal bar, are you? It's all the nutrients your body needs packed into a single foodstuff. The flavor is formulated to never taste dull, and one bar will satisfy you for a whole day. Many folks prefer this to taking multiple meals. Well, I want to see what the other ones are. The synthetic fruit pellets. They are our best approximation of the taste and texture of grapes. I've never tried a real fruit, so I can't say how faithful they are, but there's no denying their popularity. What the heck is this? It looks like a blood bag. The revivifying tonic. I take it you're thirsty. The flavor is a sublime blend of sweet and salty. It stays fresh over 10 years thanks to a special container. Ah yes, the salad paste. This is designed for those who are concerned about their figure. With its blend of 9 varieties of vegetables, it will help your efforts to slim down. Fashion models swear by it, and youth can't get enough of the stuff either. This here is a cultivated steak. Not quite the same as a real thing they produce in the outskirts, but it's a sight more affordable. This particular product is known as Gold Label, and it's a delicious hybrid of beef and chicken grown at the plant on the 4th level. You know what? Give me the salad. Sure. Well, while they're all very tempting, I'm going to have the steak. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you for your custom. This being Her Majesty's treat, it's bound to taste all the better. Say, would you mind sampling your selection here and now? It's been a long time since we had newcomers, and I'd love to see your reactions. There's a great chance to learn about Alexandrian culture. Tulky, let's dig in. Alright, here I go. Following Woklamat's lead, you sample your selection. Amazing. I never had any meat like this before. It's tender like chicken, will flavor some like Veronique. And the spices give it just the right amount of kick. I could eat this every day. Don't mind them. They're just happy to see your honest reaction. How about you? That's pretty good. Aha! It's always such a pleasure. My thanks for humoring me. This does take me back. Though it was chaotic when the people of Tuliyola first arrived, we endeavored to learn about one another and embrace our differences. Alright, what about you, Sphene? Aren't you having something to eat too? I appreciate the thoughts, but I'm fine for now. Thank you. Alright, but then what's your favorite food, if you don't mind me asking? My favorite food? Why do you wish to know this? Because I want to get to know you better. Why else? The more you know someone, the more you grow fond of them. That's what my old man believed, and my experiences have led me to believe the same. My favorite food. Is it such a difficult question? I'm sorry, it's just, when I think of those who labor to bring us to food, I find it I can't settle on one thing. I thought I was indecisive, but you're something else. Indecisive? Perhaps I am, but you didn't need to laugh about it. My favorite food? That's a question I may never be able to answer. I don't know about you, but I'm satisfied. Let's keep moving. Very well. Next I was thinking of showing you the residential sector, but it's in part so I can attend to personal matters. It's a visitation, to be precise, and I believe it to be educational for you as well. Would the two of you mind accompanying me? Not at all. Wonderful. Let me know when you've seen enough of here, and we'll make our way. So, is there an up? There's an up, right? Oh. That's cool. Material melder, so that's where the material vendors are. I think more or less I've seen enough. More or less. Ready? Then let's head to the residential sector. It lies to the southwest. As we walk, I would be glad to tell you about any place of interest that we come upon. Lemity trusts you without question. How nice it would be to have such a friend. The meat was so good. I have to get everyone at home to try it. This is Mosaic, a cafe. Here you can buy drinks and enjoy while you relax. I see. In Tuliolo, there's a similar establishment called Zabalia Thai. That's a seashell. That's seashell in the local tongue. Is there a story behind the name Mosaic? There is. In our continent, the races are named for stones. There's the Hayune, who resembles some Onawata, the tall and graceful Elodite, and the diminutive and affable Milala. When they all gather here, they appear as a mosaic of colors. Thus did the founder choose the name the cafe. That's very nice. If they serve tacos here, it'd be perfect. Tacos? A traditional Turali dish, and one of my favorite foods. You must try it one day. Oh, yes, definitely. We'll make it happen once we restore peace to Tuliolo. Alright, let's continue on. Have you eaten these tacos before? For Lamati to recommend them so highly, they must be delicious indeed. Let's go for some tacos at Zapi Pie. 3 of us. I mean, we were supposed to eat tacos, but then, you know, Balul Jaja kinda, or not Balul Jaja, but cool. Stepped on them. Again, do we even have tacos as food? I always forget to eat food when I'm in dungeons. I don't even think we have tacos. Man. How cruel. And here we are. These buildings are where our citizens live. They're massive. Each one is bigger than a palace. They have to be. For just about all Alexandrians have apartments here. Lest you wonder, I'm here to visit some people. Their apartment is in a building on the left here at residential radius 914. Residential radius? Right, the doors open automatically. I do hope you like the district. The people worked hard to build it, paying attention to every little detail. You really get the sense that Sphene loves her nation, don't you? This is the lobby, a common area for residents. I see. What does that machine there do? Ah, the concierge. They look after the residents. If you require assistance or have questions, they'd be glad to assist. That's so. I have no shortage of questions, but I'll direct them at you for now. By all means, you may consider me your personal concierge. Hey Sphene, can anyone live in this place? Naturally. In fact, many of your countrymen make their homes here. No matter your origin or race, occupation or regulatory usage, all Alexandrian citizens are eligible for an apartment. This includes those you met who work in the outskirts. You've taken care of everyone for 30 years. Really grateful. This is the place. A mother and son live here. Hello, Isadora. Your Majesty, you came. I have friends with me today. Is that alright? Of course. Friends of the Queens are friends of ours. Please make yourself at home. How has Milos been? There's been no change, but the symptoms are thankfully mild today. Hello, Milos. Have you missed me? My son was born with Levin sickness, a severe etheric imbalance towards lightning. As a result, he suffers from paralysis. He cannot walk and struggles to speak. For a blessing, he still has his hearing, and even on bad days, he can communicate with his eyes. I see. Fiend visits often, doesn't she? She does. Milos simply adores her. He sometimes even manages to smile when she's here. What of yourself, Isadora? How are you holding up? You needn't worry about me, Your Majesty. You always make time for us, and we have everything we need. I'm glad to hear that, but you mustn't strain yourself, understood? There's nothing you can do for him. Perhaps a treatment with souls, or... Unfortunately, no. While souls can revive those who have met with an accident, they cannot reverse the effect of old age and illness. Truth be told, many children are born like Milos. The illness has existed for generations, but we've been unable to find a cure. The cause is quite clear, though. The excess lightning in the environment. It's no coincidence the number of cases has risen dramatically these past 30 years. It's all my fault. What was that? I'm sorry, Isadora, but I must be going. I promise to make it a proper visit next time with treats to share. There's no need to apologize, Your Majesty. If it weren't for you, Milos and I wouldn't still be here. Thank you, Queen Speen. My pleasure, Milos. I'll be back soon, so be a good boy for your mother and for me. I think there is such an illness. But thanks for accompanying me on the visit. The illness is part of life in Alexandria, and I thought that you should know about it. We'll find a cure one day, mark my words. We'll make it so unfortunate children like Milos smile again. Well, let's continue the tour, shall we? Look, you obviously have duties to attend to, citizens to look after. We can stop here if you like. No, I do this because I want to, so please do not worry. Next, I'll show you one of the district's most vital facilities, a place called Resolution. To reach it, we'll need to go the way of Lenode 9, where the Aetherite is situated. Don't tell me we need to use that now. We do. The conveyor ahead will transport you to the government sector, where Resolution is located. The marking on the conveyor indicates direction, and there's a parasite kit on the other side. Is it safe? Extremely. There's no need to be afraid. Who said I was afraid? Come on, Tulky. Jeez, this place is humongous. My goodness. I will say, it's nice to have something like this. Very stark contrast to what you normally see in Final Fantasy XIV. I like it. Nothing to it, eh? A child's amusement ride. And here we are. Resolution, the operational heart of Solution 9. The Resolution, we oversee the running of the district and provide essential services to citizens, such as welfare support and job introductions. It's quicker to show than tell, so let's proceed inside. Why wearing sus gear? The gear they give you, and I'm too lazy to re glamour every time.
Contraptions everywhere you look.
Way too lazy.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
An infusion station. It dispenses souls in exchange for credits. Through hard work, citizens can obtain the peace of mind provided by spare souls. It's the way of life for Alexandrians and has been for quite some time. But I imagine it must be difficult for outsiders to comprehend.
That's putting it lightly. To be honest, it sounds disturbing. Still, I won't dismiss it out of hand. Practices like these don't arise from nothing. There's a reason why your culture is the way it is, and I'd like to understand. Won't you tell us some of your realm's history?
No, not really. Out of my team, I probably streamed one of the least amount. I don't know. My two teammates streamed, I guess 3 teammates streamed a lot more than I did. And they were a lot more popular. I never really was keen to it too much. One of my regrets, I guess. But no, not really. I'm keen to learn too.
Very well. Be warned, though, that it may take a while. In the distant past, over 1,000 years ago, it said, lightning energy began to swell in our world. According to ancient records that date back around 8 centuries, the rainy season spanned a quarter of the year, during which time severe thunderstorms ravaged the land. 4 centuries later, this season had lengthened to nearly half the year. The trend continued, with our ancestors spending longer and longer languishing beneath storm clouds. Crops failed and livestock starved. But amidst this growing desperation, a miraculous material was discovered that promised salvation: electrope.
The stuff that's used everywhere here.
Indeed. One day, when out inspecting a forest after lightning had caused a fire, a villager came upon a curious black ore none had seen before. Testing revealed that the ore possessed a singular property. It could store lightning and convert it to other energies. In that instant, the scourge of endless storms became a blessing. Dubbed Electrope, the ore found use in myriad inventions and dramatically improved people's lives. So much so, in fact, that all nations soon became dependent upon it, despite the difficulty of obtaining it in quantity. Supply was chronically scarce, and when nations couldn't meet their needs with their own deposits, some resorted to taking Electrope from others. Fighting was isolated and sporadic until Electrope came to be used in warfare. First in the weaponry of invaders, then in the countermeasures of defenders, and then in every aspect of combat where an advantage might be had. This served only to exacerbate the ore shortage, leading to further escalation. Before long, the entire world was engulfed in a terrible war known as the Storm Surge. As the war came to a head, Alexandria's neighbor, Lindblum, committed its stores of Electrope to the production of a weapon of mass destruction. They deployed it on the front lines and triggered a calamity of frightful magnitude. Not even their own scientists had anticipated the force of the lightning that was unleashed. The energy inundated the entire continent, laying it to waste.
So that's how your world came to be this way.
I mean, both the floods. We'll use Shadowbringers. And mine are the flood of light.
You truly know a great many things that I don't. I should like to learn about you too sometime. But to continue the tale, the people of Alexandria had already lost much to the war. They lost almost everything else to the Levin. Those who survived bore deep scars, tormented by the memory of loved ones taken too soon. Though they yet lived, the cruel spectre of death was with them always. Seeking a solution, our scientists turned once more to Electrope, and after extensive research, they developed the means to preserve memory and soul. Physical death isn't the end. So long as our memories endure, we may live on. This belief sustained us then, and it sustains us now, granting us comfort.
That's quite a tale.
Your Majesty, help me! I beg you, help me!
What's the matter?
I've got no souls left. Not a single one! But the lot at Soul Supply refused to give me any! Please, you must do something!
My apologies, Your Majesty. This man, he does no work. Instead, he drinks his days away on Trueview. He has only himself to blame if he has no credits for souls.
That's not true! I'm a fighter at the Arcadian. Or rather, I was. I haven't been allowed to fight because of the King's decree. It isn't my choice.
I see. You're a brave warrior of the arena. I want to help you, I sincerely do. But I cannot give you preferential treatment.
Then open up the Arcadian again, so I can fight!
I'm sorry, but that's not my decision to make. The king requires feral souls for war. He doesn't wish for them to be expended on amusements.
You're useless! A queen in naught but name!
Insolent wretch! How dare you take that tone with Her Majesty?
It's quite all right. Such things don't bother me, nor do I think ill of this man. Hear me. Though I cannot grant you a soul, I mean it when I say I want you to live. I love all of you equally, dearly. You are as family to me, and it pains me to see you deny yourself hope. I want you to find a happiness all your own, even if you must grow it from the smallest seed of joy. Out there, somewhere, is a reason for you to smile again. We all need to vent our frustrations from time to time. I will always be willing to lend an ear.
Yes, Mum. Of course. Even without a spare soul, I suppose I'm fine as long as I stay in Solution 9. I apologize for my rudeness. Good day to you.
Keep your chin up, my friend. And when you feel better, I'm sure you'll find another way to apply your talents. I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's keep moving, shall we? Right. I believe we've visited all the main facilities. With that, I declare our tour concluded.
That man from before, does that sort of thing happen often?
Somewhat. It's unavoidable. Hardships are a fact of life. Our soul management system has sustained our realm for generations, but it isn't without flaws. For one, people have become accustomed to having spare souls. Without them, they feel vulnerable and anxious. Some claim it may also have contributed to a decline in births.
Just thinking out loud, but would it be possible to do away with the system?
No.
I know it isn't easy to change one's beliefs and way of life. The Mamolja had their reasons for their reliance on blessed siblings, much as you have yours for souls. But if we defeated Zorolja, you'd be able to make all the decisions, right? Then we could work together to fix things, restore your realm to where it belongs, and see where we can go from there.
Listen to me. There's something that I need to tell you.
What is it?
Actually, never mind. It's nothing of import. Well, it was lovely showing you around.
Of course. Of course. Thanks so much for the tour. We've learned not only about your realm, but you as well. For now, our priority is Aralja. But once we've dealt with him, perhaps I can return the favor and show you to Lihiolal.
I'd like that very much. It seems I've no choice but to continue down this path. Forgive me, Vau Wuklamat, but I must disappoint you.
What was Fiend wanting to tell us, I wonder? Well, it can wait for another time. We've been exploring for a while now, and should probably go to Afkia's meeting point. It'll be back the way we came, I think. I have some suspicions. So there's still 2 trials that we still have to do. They followed the mold of every expansion so far, and I have no intention to believe that they don't, or they won't. One of them might be Sphene. One of them's definitely going to be Thraljo. Sphene genuinely cares for her people. I can respect her for that. Thanks to her tour, I've come to better understand the lives of Alexandrians. They don't feel so strange and distant anymore. What did that say? Okay. So we're supposed to go to a palace called True View in the eastern sector. This conveyor ought to take us there. You know, once you get used to it, they're actually kind of fun. Come on, Tulky. This is the right place, you think? I don't see the others, though. Well, rather than sitting and waiting, we might as well explore a bit more. Hey Tulky, look over there. A Momulja child. What are they doing here? You know this too, right? The resemblance is Aralja. The blue scales of a Bunawa, with the features of a Hubugo. It can't be a coincidence. At any rate, it wouldn't do to leave such a small child on their own. Come on, let's go after them. Is that really the smartest thing to do? If he really is his kid, is that really the smartest thing to do? Go after the kid of the person you're trying to kill? I also want to pick up that blue quest. What is this blue quest? Right to the west of me up now. Sightseeing log. A tome? That wouldn't happen to be a sightseeing log, would it? Milif. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a good long time. And dearest Elspie. She's my twin sister, you see, and I haven't seen her for 30 long years. Not since I was trapped during my exploration of Yasulani. It brings me great joy to know she is well. Pardon me for asking, but might I see the notes she added to your log? She always did make such bold strokes in her lettering. Here. I've added my own notes. Some of the information may seem improbable at best, but I believe there is truth in every entry. Were I younger, I would set out in search of these fantastic sights myself. Alas, my body can no longer endure such travels. So thanks to you, I feel lighter than I have in an age. If there is one thing I should wish, is to see my sister again before I die. There's so much I would share with her. But yet better things to tend to than an old woman's musings. Take care, kind adventurer. May your journey lead you to vistas both bright and unforgettable. I think they ran this way. That looks so silly. A building that looks like a graphics card. Looks so silly. So this is true view. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it does seem lively. That building's just about the only one that isn't lit up. Not open for business at the moment, I guess. I didn't see you there. Listen, we don't mean you any harm. We just want to talk. It's a bit odd, don't you think? They run off when we approach, only to suddenly reappear. Could it be they want to take us somewhere? Is that the way of it? You want us to follow you? So it is. Alright then, lead the way. Oh, is that the messenger that was supposed to get us? Oh, once you choose to depart, Woklamat will accompany you. The blue-skinned Hubuko child will begin to move towards the destination. Make your way to the destination of falling behind. Okay. Give me a second. Let me pick up Aetherites nearby. And we can go on this goose chase. Now, I kind of wish they made it so you could go into some of these buildings, but Yes, that would be a lot of work. So I guess it's justifiable. Okay, we can follow. Okay. We got brought to a bar. Is this where you wanted to bring us? What is this place? If you're meant to relax here, it isn't working for me. Hey, what's your name? You're still not inclined to talk. He'll only talk if he's completely comfortable with you. You know him. After a fashion, but never mind that. How about something to wet your whistle? Adorable as you are, it's on the house. I can recommend our special, Her Majesty. I'll prepare one without liquor for the boy too. Thanks, but no thanks. We're supposed to meet a friend named Kokyo. But we ran into the child on the way, and he let us here. Oh, so you're with Kafka. I don't remember how they pronounce her name. In that case, go and chat with that big Tassos there. He'll show you a fun place. What about him? I don't think he's in a mood to talk, so he can tend the bar with me. This has taken a turn for the strange, but you don't think we're walking into a trap, do you? Damned if this doesn't have suspicion written all over it. Not wrong. What is this fun place meant to be? Is Kafka there? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. Oh, say goodbye to the weird looking gear. A very stark contrast. A very stark contrast. This area is normally off limits, but Kafka has told us about you. Just follow the corridor and head into the room at the end. Let's go, Tulky. Whatever happens, you won't catch me being surprised.
Wonderful! They're here!
We've only just arrived ourselves.
Amazing.
I bid you welcome to the back room. Oblivion's humble headquarters.
A hideout tucked behind a drinking hole. Brings back memories, doesn't it?
Our members here are mainly creators and adapters. That is, scientists and engineers who specialize in electro. They use their skills to provide support to our field operatives. Geralt, Shale, be so kind as to give our friends an overview of your duties.
Well, there's provisioning. Gotta have supplies to fight the good fight, ain't ya? Luckily, we got the tools to craft most of what we need.
Gathering intelligence is another vital aspect of our work. Everkeep's core system is a veritable treasure trove of information. You just need to know how to get in and find it. We also handle surveillance and communications, watching the enemy's movements and coordinating our own, that sort of thing.
And among all our activities, we spend a fair bit of effort investigating preservation. The organization credited with laying the foundations of electrope technology. From the soul management system to Everkeep's design, they're behind just about everything you see here. It'd be no exaggeration to say they made this realm what it is. But their magnum opus was without a doubt the power which was used to join Alexandria to Tural. Interdimensional fusion.
Said power isn't unlike my summoning technique and the magic within Azam's crystal. Yet, though the effect is localized, to be able to fuse realities. Even with my knowledge, I struggle to conceive how it could be possible.
Incidentally, the founders of our group, a husband and wife, were members of preservation at one point. That they opposed the fusing of worlds, and so defected in order to prevent it.
While not entirely unexpected, given what we have seen, this is still quite the revelation.
By the by, that's an interesting earring you have there. A novel way of carrying a data storage device. Oh, you didn't know? Well, as a precautionary measure against machine infiltration, we scan everyone as they enter. And when we scanned you, we detected a small quantity of electrope. Though it's been dressed up, that earring is a storage device and no mistake. Bought it from a shop here, did you?
No, it isn't bought, but inherited.
So these people sent you through the portal along with the earring?
Do you know aught of them?
Listen, Cryle. The husband and wife who founded our order. It's believed that they were Malala. Though we have no evidence at present, we can't rule out the possibility that they were your parents, or perhaps close relations. This I posit because they were the very individuals who spearheaded the research into interdimensional fusion. As traitors to preservation, they were relentlessly pursued. If they had a child they feared they couldn't keep safe, entrusting her to the people of another world might have been their best option.
My parents, the founders of Oblivion. Tell me everything you know about them, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Anything and everything.
We don't even know their names, I'm afraid. In a bid to elude preservation's agents, we suspect they erased all trace of themselves. I'm sorry we couldn't be of more help. If you're interested though, you're welcome to review our accumulated data.
Yes, please. As an individual and member of my order both, I wish to learn as much as possible.
I should also like to peruse the data. Where the joining of realities is concerned, I may well be of service.
Of course. Feel free to peruse to your heart's content.
Thank you.
If you like, I can examine your earring. I have to say, the prospect that it belonged to our founders has me itching to take a look.
I dare say we have enough eyes to pore over your records. Is there any other way we might be productive?
Not right now. We're still waiting for Zoralja to make the next move.
In that case, Alice, would you mind accompanying me?
Gladly.
Oh, I've buggered it up again!
Never a moment's peace. Pay him no mind. I don't.
It's not very nice.
Oi, you two there! One of you give me a hand, would you? Don't matter who.
I just remembered I have matters to discuss with Shale.
Annabelle's good at dodging responsibility, I see. This place was originally designed by a preservation engineer. That's why it's wall-to-wall of contraptions. When I go on the attack, do you think I'm pushing forward too quickly? Oh, I see. A little. Try to keep closer to the rest of us, so you don't get surrounded. I feel for you. While Chenot is a brilliant adapter, it's as if he's stuck on full volume. It's all I can do to put up with the clamor. Oh. By the by, you didn't know him before, did you? I don't see how you could. For a moment there, you were looking at him as if you'd seen a ghost. Shell has already extracted the data out of my earring. At long last, a clue. My apologies, but I remain here to review the information. Seldom does one see Kryle so openly impassioned. As a comrade, I will do my best to support her. Better you than me. Ah, there we are, Info. Sorry you had to see me, passion spilling over. Happens when you put your heart and soul into your craft, you know? Not to be weird or nothing, but I felt a sense of kinship when I saw you, as if we met in another life. Any road, as I was saying, I need someone to lend me a hand. I haven't slept for 2 nights now, not a single wink, and I'm ripe to collapse. Can't afford to, though. Got folks relying on me, see? If I'm to keep at it, I need you to fetch me my favorite energy tonic. That voucher's good for 2 cans. One for yourself, by way of welcome. Can't get the stuff at any old vending machine, though. Need to talk to a bloke named Philomon. You'll see him tending a bar out on the main strip. Off you go now. I should go pick up that. It's Arcadian. I figured as much that'd be Arcadian. The giant ass graphics card. Because I've seen pictures of Arcadian. I figured as much. It'd be that. God, what a bulky brush. Oh, the little paint palette also expands. Welcome, what are you having? Energy tongs you can't get from vending machines. How dare you suggest I sell such a dangerous stuff? Away with you and don't come back. Ahem, got a voucher? Slip it to me then. Nice and subtle. Ah, so you're collecting for Reginald. A can for him, a can for you, eh? Here you go. Yours is formulated for beginners. Gentler than full strength stuff. It's not contraband or anything, so you won't run afoul of the authorities. But if the Rodina Consortium was made aware of my special selection, it'd be bad for business. Now, seeing as it's your first time, I want you to drink your tonic here, just in case there are side effects. Hi, Biff. You liking the DLC so far? I think it's been alright. You drained a tonic in a single pull. Now that's how you do it. Your pulse ought to be quickened soon, after which you'll start seeing everything more clearly, and then finally you'll feel a roaring surge of energy. People say it's like growing a pair of rainbow wings. Well, if you haven't, you haven't up and carked it, so hurry along and give General his tonic. He tends to leave it to the last moment, and I expect he's about to keel over. Oh. Oh, bright. My eyes. Oh my goodness, that's bright. I like the DLC so far though. In terms of even dungeon fights, I feel like they made it more interesting. I like that. In terms of story, I think it's alright. I don't think it's like... I don't think it's terrible. I don't know why people are saying it's like Stormblood 2.0 when I don't have that feeling with it at all. The only part of it is like it's slightly political, I guess. But wow, you're helping someone become a ruler. What you expect was going to happen? But I don't particularly hate the DLC. But I've always been more inclined with the fights in an expansion rather than story alone. So I'll wait until I see the Eden Ultimate and some raid tier stuff like that. So far it's not bad though. The original main story ended, right? Correct. 10-year expansion essentially. The story was from ARR all the way up to Endwalker, plus one continuous story. This one is technically a fresh start to the set things. However, I think people are way too used to having a big bad consistently throughout the story. Shadowbringers had Emmett Salk for a big long chunk. Stormblood had Xenos. Heaven's Ward had the Dragons and the Pope. ARR, I guess, had Gaius. Endwalker had, well, the Final Days, which was just a mix of Meteon and Xenos as well early on. But this expansion doesn't really have the big bad. We just had that conflict now, right? With Zoralja taking the stage. But up until like 76, I guess. Up until this whole Solution 9 and Alexandria conflict. It's just more of like watching your promise grow. Grow as a character, grow as a person, grow as a leader. And I think a lot of people aren't also happy that you're not the main focus, I guess, in the expansion. Rather, you're more of like the mentor to Wuklama, rather than being the main focus of the expansion. Maybe people don't like that as well, but I don't particularly mind it. It would be weird if the expansion was about us. Especially the premise of the whole story. I feel for you. Oh, never mind. Okay. They still haven't done anything. Every moment goes by without Chenault moaning and grunting. I presume it's how he expresses his passion for work. What do you think of my crew here? An interesting bunch, right? I personally recruited Chenault and Shale, by the way. Is it just me, or are there rainbows in your eyes? We're learning about regulators at the moment. How's your errand coming along? You've got the tonic. Give it here quick. What is this, like Red Bull? Knockoff. Ah, that's the stuff. Ain't nothing like it to blow the cobwebs right out. With a great big kaboom. Awakens something feral in me, it does. Transforms me into a remorseless beast that won't stop till it's done what it was born to do. Yeah, I never really got to the juicy parts of the story anyways. I like the new jobs. I haven't played Viper. Picto I like. But Picto I was going to play regardless of how good or bad it is. It just so happens to be one of the most strongest classes in the game right now. But I was interested in playing Picto regardless. It looked like a very pretty class, so I was going to play it anyways, regardless how good or bad it was. Anyway, sorry for sending ye off on errand like that. I just can't concentrate without me tonic, you know. And a pile of work only ever gets bigger. Speaking of which, I better get back to it. Those weapons and tools ain't going to enhance themselves.
I've been meaning to ask about that Mamulja child. Could he be...
Yes. In all likelihood, he's Zoralja's son.
So you think so too? But what is he doing here?
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the Drift Downs a few years ago.
To think he'd cast aside his child.
We can't say for certain who he was born to, or why he was on his own. But he's a blue-scaled Hubigo, and Zoralja is the only other one around. That being the case, everyone assumes they're father and son. Even the boy has put two and two together. This all happened when he was very little, so he has no recollection of his parents. It breaks my heart to think of it.
What's his name?
Kulja. It was my hope that he'd grow up to be a man of principle, like his grandfather.
It's a fine name.
I should mention that the boy is a little unusual. At first, I intended to raise him as my own. But just when I thought he was warming to me, he suddenly disappeared. We searched high and low for several days. And where should he turn up? But in the wilds near Everkeep.
What? It's a miracle he didn't fall prey to fiends.
See? That's another unusual thing. Creatures don't seem to attack him. He could pick his way through the Thunder Yards as if he were on a stroll. On making inquiries, we learned that he had been living alone and receiving food from the people of the outskirts. This became something of a pattern. We track him down and bring him back, only for him to disappear again within a matter of days. He would return to the wilds without fail, and once again rely on the kindness of strangers to survive. Finally, I took the hint and left him be, giving him the solitude he prefers, and lending a hand only when he explicitly asks.
If Gululja is Zorolja's child, that makes him my nephew. Assuming he's willing, I'd be glad to take him in like Papa did for me. But seeing as I'm here to kill his father, I don't know if it would be right.
Who was that?
Oh dear. It's Gululja.
Don't tell me he heard everything.
Ah, this is my fault. I asked that he be kept away, but I should have taken more precautions.
I'm going after him. I need to explain.
Wait, Lamachi. I understand your haste, but it'd be best to coordinate a search. Kapkiwa, do you have any idea where he might go?
There's no telling, I'm afraid. He could as easily be outside the tower as here in Solution 9.
If those who can fight would search below, my mother and I will scour the district.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get to it.
So I'm assuming that Gerald, or I forget his actual name, the equivalent to the blacksmith is where we get our artifact gear for this expansion. Won't be available for us until another level though. 89. Gerald. Yeah, I'm assuming the equivalent to him is Gerald, but I don't believe we're going to get our artifact gear until then. So we'll just continue this for now. Oh, actually, I should stop soon. I'm gonna work in the afternoon tomorrow. If Gululja is outside the tower, we need to find him as quickly as possible. Even if he's used to getting around on his own, the wilds are still no place for a child. Agreed. While Kyle and Raha continue to reviewing the data, the three of us should devote ourselves to the search. Alright, let's head back to the base of the tower and take it from there. I believe I should stop. Yeah, more than likely I should. What is this? It's a DJ. That's funny. But yeah. I am going to be done for now. Guess I'll see. I mean, I technically should have time tomorrow. Whatever. I'll see when we continue on with MSQ. I should probably get it finished sometime soon. I believe normal raids is coming Tuesday. Yeah, I believe normal raids is this upcoming Tuesday, so I should aim to get this done before then and get normal raids done as well as the EXs. So yeah. Anywho, that is it for me. Thank y'all for watching, and thank you for sticking around. Have a good rest of your night, or day, wherever you are. And bye-bye. Take care.